So, can I buy you a drink? Cup o' tea?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Deep Dive Zone, a Knuckles the Echidna podcast for fans of all shapes and sizes. As usual, I'm your host, Devin, joined by my comrades, Lauren and Bruce. Guys, what do you think of Knuckles Chaotix?
Almost a game.
Almost a game. Yeah, I would say it's a game.
I kind of misspoke there, to be honest. I meant to say it's a game of almost.
Yeah, that makes a little more metaphorical sense.
I was thinking of trying to make a joke that being like, this game isn't tougher than leather. Although it might be if you don't break the entire game with Charmy, which is what I did.
Yeah, this game is not technically Knuckles Chaotix. Technically, it's Chaotix featuring Knuckles the Echidna, but really it should be called Charmy Chaotix, because if you play as Charmy, you can just fly over everything. He has no limits on it.
Damn, I should have played as Charmy, not as the red fucker.
You actually shouldn't have, because the price you pay for breaking the game with Charmy is carpal tunnel syndrome, because somebody thought you have to spam the fly button. You can't just hold it. No, you have to spam it.
Interesting, so he's just a worse Tails.
Oh, kind of. I'm worse for your health.
With also a lot smaller hitbox.
Worse for your health, but actually absolutely broken because of the infinite flying, obviously. But also his charges defeat enemies? Isn't that overkill? He's absolutely unstoppable.
It's almost there.
It's almost there.
So this game was almost something else as well. This game started life as a Sonic game demo for the 32X that we now know as Sonic Crackers, which is a strange title, that, featured Sonic and Tails tethered together with rings in some sort of weird kind of amusement park environment, I think. And that ended up getting scrapped, but I think what probably happened is, Sega said, we need something Sonic to sell this 32X machine, because nobody's buying it, because the Genesis add-ons were dumb.
Hey, don't shit on the CD. The CD was kind of cool.
Yeah, maybe if you want to play Night Trap, but I don't.
I mean, maybe I do.
Okay. Well, in any case, that game ended up becoming, Knuckles Chaotix, and I can't help but think what a weird decision that is, to take Sonic out of the Sonic game.
I'm guessing all it was just Sega didn't trust the game, or didn't trust Sonic in the game, I guess?
I know,
that sounds like Sonic is an unruly child.
But it can't be for protection of the brand, because that's what it sounded like you were going to say. But look what we've been playing, these past few weeks. We've gotten some fun out of them, but a lot of these games have been real bad.
Yeah, no, we've played a lot of bad games. I don't think it's protection of the brand. I think it was really that. I think it actually might have been they were already trying to push Knuckles as a character on his own.
I suppose that is true. He did get his own comic series around this time.
Ah, yes.
Oh, well, that's another thing entirely.
I mean, to be fair, it makes sense, but we also have no idea if that's really the case, if that inspired it.
Yeah, well, we're kind of living through like a Knuckles resurgence right now, because we've got him featured heavily in the second Sonic movie, and then they've also confirmed they're making a
quite good, by the way.
Yeah, so this is a decent time for this episode, but
we're having a bit of a Knuckles renaissance.
Yeah, so this game is, because it's a 2D platform, but you're tethered together, and that momentum, the difference in momentum it makes to have the characters stuck together completely changes the dynamic of the game.
It really does. It's kind of rough playing the game like that.
Yeah, you don't get really the power behind the spin dash, because it would just yank the other person, and they make it weaker anyway.
The spin dash is I'm so sad about how nerfed the spin dash is.
So they expect you to just charge up, a tether launch, or whatever they call it. But that, it requires more space to do and doesn't feel as good.
And that's the problem, though. The tether could have been so much better with just a little bit more thought put into it.
Really? It seems to me like a gimmick through and through. I'm not even sure who had the idea.
I feel like it could have been done so much better.
Maybe we don't mean tethers so much as we mean partner mechanics.
That's more
Okay, yes. So One thing I will say about this game is, when I saw it was 2-player, I'm like, too bad I don't have anyone else to torture with this game. Because that would probably make it way more enjoyable.
I should have had Kayla play it with me.
I mean, in like Sonic 2, player 2 can play as Tails, but like they almost can't do anything. Like
they
can
got
be absolutely overpowered in boss fights, but otherwise it all has to follow Sonic, right? But in this game, because you're actually literally stuck together, you have to work together, and in theory, I think that would make for maybe one of the best 2-player Sonic experiences.
It would definitely be an interesting experience.
I'm getting a vision of like you and your brother like doing a 3-legged race with your legs tied together, and it's very funny to me.
Yeah, that's what it would be like, wouldn't it? But even though the tethers are bizarre and already make this not at all like another Sonic game, it's not at all the only thing that makes us feel different from other Sonic games.
Right.
Yeah, the entire feel of this game is totally out there and different, and in some ways a way that I like. But this game doesn't take place in any normal Sonic location. The story to this game is kind of incomprehensible. The story to this game is, I'm reading from my notes here, is that after Sonic 3, the Master Emerald's movement unearths an island from the sea, which Robotnik moves in on and converts into a resort called Neutrogic High Zone, which is one of the weirdest level names I've ever heard of. And Espio, Mighty, Vector, and Charmy are basically all here just independently. I don't think that they're really friends as of this game.
Uh-huh.
But, Espio, Charmy, and Vector would, of course, later be grouped in and called Chaotix, the detective agency, which, okay. And then Mighty would be, of course, completely forgotten about.
Okay. Well, that's a fairly basic story, which makes sense for classic Sonic standards.
Yeah.
Although, me, now being committed to not reading the manuals and getting what the story is, was trying to piece together what the story in this game was. And so, my guess, based on one weird bit, was that this all is, like, not canon, or at least it didn't happen the way you think. Because when you select other characters, right, there's a little crane minigame, and you pick up the character, and they're like a statue. And then
they're like bronzed.
And you, like, grab them, and then they, like, come to life. And I'm like, this isn't actually happening in the main Sonic universe. This is, like, some sort of simulation that, like, Eggman has put together. I'm not sure why it's not featuring Sonic. Maybe he was really scared of Knuckles or something. And also, Knuckles beat him in the simulation, so ouch, that hurts.
I mean, I guess the only thing I could say on that theory would be he's going after Knuckles because Knuckles betrayed him.
Maybe that's it, actually. That would make sense.
Well, so if there's that's making me think, like, so this is like Super Smash Brothers, where there's statues that come to life?
Yep, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Alright, and you know what? Sure, let's go with that. That's
you are right about one thing, Lauren, which is that this game isn't canon. This is one of the few Sonic games to be decanonized by SEGA.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
Which is really interesting, because I've noticed SEGA doesn't seem to really give a damn about the Sonic continuity.
Well, I mean, I don't know how much that, canon statement matters, but this is one of the ones that they've said it about, and I think it's because...
They've officially stated.
Yeah, and I think it's because Sonic Heroes exists, it's like... Charmy would be the obvious thing, where in this game he's like 15 or 16, and then in Sonic Heroes he's like 8.
I could have just retconned his age instead of deleting the entire game to fix that,
Yeah, well, we should have told that to the comic writers as well. You should see what they did with it.
You explained that to me, that is...
Oh, no.
We're gonna get to it. It's gonna be an out right now thing. Anyway, so, yeah, just a strange thing all around.
Yeah.
Anyway, as for the game, I really dig the graphics and music to this game.
Oh, the game is gorgeous, and it's got really nice graphics.
I have to agree 100% in that department.
It's one of the most colorful Sonic games.
I just realized I said it's gorgeous and got nice graphics.
Did you mean to say music there?
Yeah, I meant to say music.
Yeah.
Oh, the music, yeah, it's kind of chill. It's got a neat little vibe to it. Oh, and on the topic of music, so I don't forget to mention it, I was absolutely blown away by the fact that every single boss battle has this unique theme. Like, when do they do that? That's
I
insane.
didn't notice that. That's interesting.
I'm thinking like does Sonic Adventure 2 maybe? Maybe not.
No, I don't think so.
They've got some different themes, but yeah, this is one of the only cases where they all have different themes.
Oh no, definitely not Sonic Adventure 2. Remember the like minuscule difference between King Boom Boo and
Oh, yeah, like
Egg
one electric
Golem.
guitar.
Yeah, like at the very start, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, in any case, this game does it pretty well, and it's interesting because the music it's catchy, but it's also really good at portraying the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Like this game has a day-night cycle, which is weird enough on its own. I don't think it affects anything about the levels. I think it just is a visual thing.
I'm pretty sure it is.
But the other thing that it changes is that when you're in the Neutrogic High Zone hub or whatever, it gives you, a different music piece for each time of day. And so Evening Star, which is the one for, sunset, has a really good actual like evening feel to it. It's got kind of a walking home after basketball practice feel or something like that. I don't know why that's what I'm coming up with because I've never played basketball in my life, but
I'm sure you've watched basketball though.
No,
So
I haven't done that either.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe
Basketball's
I'm just giving you the
purple, right?
benefit. Sure, purple. Purple if you're orange. No, wait. Yeah, sure. Orange, purple colorblind. That's how that works.
Yeah, no, music's real good. There's a YouTuber I watch who is an anime reviewer called Hazel, and she often uses the theme from Marina Madness in her videos.
I recognize that song.
It wasn't until I played it that I was like, "That's where this is from." I knew I heard it somewhere.
Yes, I was playing Marina Madness and thinking, "Damn, this sounds really familiar."
I had it the other way around. I started watching some of their videos after playing this game. I'm like, Knuckles Chaotix?
Well, she uses other Sonic music in her videos in any case anyway. So
Right.
But that just shows it's very good atmospheric background.
It's very good atmospheric music.
Stuff, yeah.
Which that goes a long way because the level design is a little bit bland, a little bit labyrinthine sometimes, but never like
each zone has 5 acts and they all feel the same.
Okay, yes. Now we're on the topic of level design. Let me tell you, it feels sort of like... Well, no, it's not the same sort of... I was like, it's kind of like Sonic CD, where like the level design is holding it back so much, but not really for the same reason. Because Sonic CD, you could just rush to the end pretty easily. You can't do that in this game. I was surprised. Even playing as Charmy, I got like lost. I'm like, I can literally fly infinitely, and I'm lost in these levels. What the heck?
It's got a ton of verticality to its level design, but it's just they're empty. There's an occasional badnik, there's some rings, but they don't have a lot of stage gimmicks, and they don't have, a really unique feel to the progression of a level. You just kind of go back and forth.
Yeah.
Which, are we going to try to go through the zones one by one, or should I just get into that whenever?
Well, I mean, I don't think that we really need to, because there is not a significant thing that I can say that separates Botanic Base from Techno Tower, They look different, obviously.
Yeah.
I like Botanic Base's music more, but they don't have gimmicks.
Yeah, I have notes under the zones where they appear in. Amazing Arena has a mini-boss in it for some reason that shows up in every act, where it's like...
Oh, yeah.
Eggman with long arms that punches you.
You don't even have to fight it either.
No, you can skip it for some reason.
Yeah, you can just time it out. It's weird as hell.
I didn't know that the timeout didn't kill you, so I spent a lot of time like reloading my save, trying to get good enough at throwing Vector at that thing to make sure that it died.
But that's weird. There aren't any other mini bosses in the game other than that. I kind of like the Badnik designs in this game. Well, I mean, because Badnik designs are always great. But it seems like there were weird ones in this one. Like, Techno Tower has this walking chef bot, which just looks hilarious for some reason. Or maybe because I'm just a fan of clocks. But I like the clock enemy in Amazing Arena that has like deadly spike pendulum on it. It's all kind of just like the look to this game is all very good.
Yeah,
even if ultimately doesn't amount to a whole lot when you play through it, unfortunately, because the level selection is random, which is so annoying.
Ooh, yeah.
Yes, this game, let's actually focus on that. This game, when you choose a stage, you run to the end of Neutrojic High Zone, and then it does this roulette wheel thing where you have to stop it, and if it lands on a stage, that's where you go. And for a game where so many of the levels, lack a real gameplay identity, it's extremely strange that they did that, especially when there's 25 acts. That's as long as Sonic 3, but it doesn't feel anything like that other than maybe being, long enough to feel tedious at some points. But why? Just let me play them from start to finish.
The roulette feels like such a mistake, doesn't even feel like the right word.
Well, it's just weird because you can't call it padding because you'd be playing all of the acts either way. It's not like a Shadow the Hedgehog thing. So it's like, why bother? It just means that it takes...
It doesn't even force you to repeat anything.
Yeah, it just means that it takes, up to 5 times as long to see a single boss.
Yeah, that's why what I ended up doing, since I played on an emulator, was just... I save stated before, and when I would first start a session, I would just go with whatever the roulette gives me, and then I would just make sure with save states I was only playing that zone. And I probably spent more time reloading save states than actually playing the game.
Okay, yeah, I considered doing that, but I'm like, no, that would probably take too long, so now I'm glad I didn't do that.
Yeah, no, it definitely took way too long, but I just didn't want to fuck with that stupid roulette.
Well, I didn't want to mess with this game either, which is why I did play with Knuckles for a little bit. I mean, you start with Knuckles, but then I was like, nah, I'm not having this game anymore. And then I burned through everything with Charmy, and SEGA just got pulled along.
Yeah, I forgot to mention while we were talking about the partner system, it really just feels like you're babysitting the other character.
Yeah, you can even pick them up and throw them just like a real baby.
I mean, yeah, but you can usually only do that once to a baby without someone getting involved.
I mean, it was dark when I said it, but you made it even more dark.
It's really more like you're a prisoner and you've got like a ball and chain on you or something.
Yeah,
that's literally what Heavy is.
Yeah, let's say that's basically what the Heavy one is.
Right, yeah. Yeah, they have 2 really weird characters in this game. The joke characters are so annoying. I think they're also in the comics though, which is where I first saw them. But yeah, Heavy and Bomb, for some reason, they're like not entirely useless because like Bomb is super fast, and I don't remember why Heavy is potentially good. Maybe he's not at all.
I found Heavy just to be fun because he helps you build up a lot of speed.
That's probably it. Okay. Yeah,
but I don't know if that's actually good.
Yeah, strange character choices all around because I mean, like, you've got Vector, SBO, and Charmy, which are the new characters for this game, and you've got Heavy and Bomb, which are obviously meant to be the joke characters, because that's why I don't think they're on the title screen. I'm pretty sure they're not. And then you've got Mighty, and Mighty is obviously, he was one of the original, prototype designs for Sonic. I don't know if you knew that, along with Ray. And the 2 of them were, of course, in Sega Sonic the Hedgehog, the arcade game, which we'll get to relatively soon, I think. But it's like, he just appears alone in this game, and then he never appears again. Well, until Sonic Mania, I guess. And, it seems weird until you realize that this game, of course, is built off that old Sonic Crackers prototype, which I should mention just so that I get it out of the way. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be Sonic Clackers because it's like a pair of clacker balls with a string between them. The tether.
Yeah.
Which really just makes me imagine like Eggman or Knuckles just holding the ring tether and just smacking Sonic and Tails back and forth.
Oh my gosh, that would be a great thing to see. That would be something for like the comics, because I don't know how you do that in the game, but like
that would be an Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog scene.
Yeah.
But when you don't know that this game was Sonic Crackers, you don't know that there's technically a hidden character in this game. 2 of them, in fact, because Mighty is very clearly just built off of Sonic's old sprites from Sonic Crackers. That's why he has the same standing position as Sonic. That's why, like, there's old... the Sonic Crackers sprites has Sonic and Mighty's wall jump position. And it means that there's also a secret glitch character in this game that people call Wechnia, who is a silver Knuckles with a red face, but he can fly like Tails.
Because, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, and his name in the game, is just a line of stars, which eventually made him the basis for Dr. Starline from the comics, because his name is Starline.
Interesting.
That's cool.
I just felt the need
That's
to mention that because I
interesting.
thought it was funny. So that's just weird little facts about this game. There's also some weird power-ups in this game, like growth and shrinking.
Yeah.
You get to see some nice chunky sprites.
First of all, it's a random power-up. And second of all, yeah, it's like we're just gonna, awkwardly scale it. It looks like a really low-effort mod or something, not an actual power-up in the game.
I think it was, just a proof of concept that we've got this 32X hardware and we can do sprite scaling. Take that, Super FX chip. We'll never, we'll never have a game as good as Yoshi's Island, but we'll have a game that looks like one.
Didn't the Super FX chip come out like a solid 3 years before Knuckles Chaotix?
Oh, I have no idea. I didn't do that much research on this game.
I have lots of just random little weird notes on this. Like, in the vein of power-ups, they for some reason decided, oh yeah, the shield needs to be redesigned. It needs to be like a rotating disc now. Kind of looks cool,
Frisbee
but
shield.
it throws me off. Doesn't look like other shields in the series.
Yeah.
I like that
was...
Vector is too tall for it.
Yeah.
Well, damn, was I actually right? Damn, I was right. It was 2 years. Almost exactly 2 years.
For
Cool.
what?
Between the Super FX chip and and at least Knuckles Chaotix. I don't know when the 32X came out.
I don't know if this game was a launch title for it.
It
It
was
probably
not. It was
should
about a
have
year
been,
later.
but even if it was, I don't think it would have done very well.
Probably not.
So, as a sort of help me, I got stuck. I don't want to play the game correctly. I'm just going to magnetize player 2 to me, but I'll pay 10 rings. You can do that.
Yes.
But the game, for some reason, decided you can always use this get out of jail free card, even if you don't have 10 rings. But then you will just go to negative rings for some reason.
That happened to me, and that stumped Devin.
I think it's probably to prevent soft locking yourself.
It would have to be, because... Well, that was in an era, though, where they didn't really seem... companies didn't seem to really care if you, soft lock
Dr. Robotnik's
yourself.
diabolical traps.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then they just let you time out if that happened. There's technically... Oh, wait, there's no time in this game.
That's
Is there?
right.
There's no time in this game. There's no bottomless pits in this game.
Oh.
There's no crushing in this game.
Wait, no, there is time, because I timed out on one level.
Oh, wait, really?
Oh.
Yeah, I got to the 10 minutes, because I'm bad at video games.
Well, I guess I'll just go fuck myself then. No,
Well, never mind.
I'm sorry.
I don't remember. It was...
To be
I don't
fair, most of
remember.
the stages, if you are lucky enough to speed your way through most of them, they can be done in 3 minutes.
Or less. They
Or
can be
less.
really short.
Probably, yeah, they're mostly really short.
Yeah.
There were a few times I never timed out, but there were a few times I got confused because they're so vertical. It's like, which way is forward? Most Sonic games, right is forward. No. Maybe it's left. Maybe it's up. Maybe it's down. Who knows? Maybe it's to this one button that will rise or lower the ship in Marine Madness.
Mm.
What? How was I supposed
Yeah.
to think of that?
And that's especially annoying on a stage like Amazing Arena, where you have to turn the lights on in each act before you can reach the end. If you reach the end without turning on the clock thingy, then it just sends you back to the beginning. It basically just kills you.
That was
Okay, yes.
so annoying.
I'm glad you warned me about that. I probably would have been terrible. Although, then I got overcautious for it, and then I thought you had to get all the lights in each zone. I realized you didn't have to do that eventually. But that's weird, but it wasn't so terrible for me. I do like that it kind of gives 2 vibes to it and has 2 different music tracks. But it's
Yeah.
a weird choice.
No, I
If
like the
dark, you can't
sort
win.
of decrepit feel that it has at the start. Again, good atmosphere in the music, which Sonic doesn't normally do. But it also means that if you do get lost in a level for a long time, it's you can't even kill yourself to figure out to get your bearings because this game doesn't have checkpoints because it doesn't have lives.
That's right. The game has no
Mhm.
lives for some reason. Which
Which I guess could make this a better
Like-
Sonic game for first timers because you don't ever have to worry about a game over, kind of. But it's also just
Yeah,
not good
kind
enough
of.
of a
You
game
could
for that.
Yeah.
it's definitely not. It just randomly doesn't have lives for some reason, which they didn't do that again. I think. Yeah.
It does have epic 3D polygon special stages, though. Eat your heart out, Star
Oh,
Fox.
yeah.
I started my notes when I, went to the first one of those, and I said something like, hey, these are actually my favorite special stages of the classic era. And then I stopped believing that after I got to the third or fourth one, because they got really friggin' long.
Yeah, that was, I think I enjoyed the first one, and I got to the second one, and it was just like, no, this is not good.
So, as I have treated every special stage, which I hadn't played before playing them for this podcast, I just avoided them. I did happen to run into one by accident, and it was fine. It reminded me, I don't know what the game is, but there was some game that was like a web-based game where it's like an infinite runner thing, and you rotate.
You talking about Run 2?
Maybe. I don't know what it's called. I just saw some.
It was on cool math games back in middle school. I remember it.
Okay, that sounds right. Yeah, it was like it's like something. It's familiar. That's my only comment on it. Though.
This game, okay.
Kind of weird.
Yeah, it's close. It's another very almost moment, but it's like plenty of games in like the 32-bit era didn't even have camera control, and so Lord knows that this 16-bit game is not going to have it. I don't even know if this is 16-bit. Maybe it's 32-bit. Who cares? But especially when you try to go up inclines in the special state, it's just disorienting. And the fact that you can't just move backwards, you have to bounce off stuff. It's not fun.
Right, kind of like Blue Spheres in that regard. But no, I did not try to go for the Chaos Rings. Are we in Sonic and the Secret Rings already?
I don't know if they took inspiration from this game or for that or what. Yeah, it's weird that this game has... Is it 6 Chaos Rings or 7? I don't know.
I think it's 7. I think it's 7. I think it's 7.
But you get all of those to get the true ending, but it's another Sonic 1 situation where it doesn't give you a super form or anything. It just changes, what you see after the boss.
Right, which we'll get to there later, or we can get to there now. I have other things to say before then, but...
Well, we can talk about the bosses in general, unless you got something else to say first.
It can come anytime. We can talk about bosses. Well, I already mentioned they have different battle themes.
I think the bosses in this game, they range from annoying to pathetic.
Well, they were all pathetic with Charmy, so I can't really talk on that, but they also all have a cutscene leading up to them, which really surprised me for the first one. I'm like, well, first one. This game has no order. I have to remember.
I enjoyed those cutscenes. That was kind of fun.
I like them. They add a little bit of tension to it, and they even change depending on the time of day, which is a little bit of effort you think that they wouldn't put in.
Really? That's interesting because you're only ever going to see them once per playthrough. Speed Slider, that was the first one that I encountered. Where just
that one has better Evil Clown music than Sonic 3.
I loved that music. Yeah, I was like, oh, this is great. This is twisted and weird.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to remember what the bosses were off the top of my head, because, like, they're a little, they don't, it's another case where I don't think most of them take 8 hits to beat. And 8 hits really is a decent sweet spot for a lot of Sonic bosses, because it's enough to make you remember what they are.
Yeah.
I remember some of these bosses. Some of them are somewhat distinctive. I don't remember what Techno Tower was. I remember Marina Madness. That was the one with the 3D crystal, which looked really cool.
Oh yeah, the epic 32X.
Yeah.
But it also doesn't have the sprite is very basic, so it looks completely wrong. If they had actually made effort into the 3D sprites, it would have looked a lot better. Instead, it looks like someone edited it in on top of it, the boss.
Yeah. Oh, here's one thing. The boss of Amazing Arena is, he's projected and comes out of a TV screen, which that's totally something they referenced in Sonic Mania, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's true. I guess you're right. Yeah, no, that makes sense. But yeah, that was weird. It's gives a whole meaning to reality TV, doesn't it?
Yo, did they ever do a reality television episode of Sonic Boom? I feel like if they didn't, they should have. Anyway,
I guess
sorry,
we'll
that doesn't
see
matter.
when we watch the show.
Yeah. Yeah, but the bosses, they're fine. The only one that I really get upset at is Metal Sonic, who is in this game.
Oh yes.
Hey.
I kind of trivialized it with save states.
Yeah, Metal Sonic kind of just shows up at the end. As they do in these games sometimes, like in, Triple Trouble was that? They just showed up for some reason. In the hub, which totally caught me off guard. Like, oh, we have a hub boss battle now.
Yeah,
And it once again uses the roulette, so that it is completely random when you get to beat the boss. And this time, you better believe I save stated it.
Yeah.
Yes, because you have to land it on a specific spot, and if you don't, it triggers one of his 4 attacks, I think. And each time you land it on the X, it just knocks off one of his attacks, which is good, because it means that once you hit him once, the other ones become easier each time. But it's like, if you struggle with that at the start, you're just going to keep, hitting the same ones over and over again, which makes it easier and easier to die, because... do they give you rings for that? I know your partner getting killed gives you an extra hit, but...
That's a weird thing. I don't know how that works, actually. I played it, and I'm like, do I have infinite hits? And then I died, and then I'm like, I guess I don't. But I got hit like 3 or 4 times before dying, and then proceeding to just cheese the boss states. So, I don't know how the hits work there.
Yeah, I think it's Donkey Kong Country rules, where your partner is also a regenerating shield, basically.
I would assume so.
I don't think that's true, because I'm pretty sure I died and my partner was still around, but I don't know.
I don't know. This game is full of mystery.
I do know for the other phases, it does just give you 10 rings, though, which finally they learned their lesson for the final boss of a classic Sonic game. My gosh. Anyway.
And what a final boss it is. It is a giant red metal Sonic.
My my childish inner self is just like, this is so cool, man. Like it doesn't make any sense. It's just there somehow. Eggman's like, I'm just, my black ring shall turn it into this giant red monster thing. I don't care though. It looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks sick. So who cares?
No, it is a really cool looking fight. It's kind of easy to do, but it's, I'll take that over it being way, way too hard.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, it's not difficult, but it's not boring either. It's got a few phases to it. It's got a few interesting attacks. Yeah, it was pretty good, I would say.
Yeah, when trying to hit this guy in, like, the second phase, the game crashed. I don't know why.
Oh.
Didn't happen the second time around, but it was like, what? Yeah, but it's interesting to finally fight this thing, because, I saw this guy... because I used to just browse, like, sprite websites for fun. Like, I had, as a tween, I had fantasies of making the most epic-erist Sonic sprite comic ever, which I never made, thankfully, because those things are a little bit cringe-inducing, here in the modern age.
Sprite comic.
Yeah. We're not going to do an episode on those. I'm saying it right now. I don't think that's a good idea. But,
God damn, alright.
But I would always see the giant metal Sonic sprites, and it'd be like, what is this thing? How could this possibly be in a Sonic game? And here it is.
Yeah, so as soon as you started your story, I knew exactly what you were talking about, because that is also how I knew about this before playing the game. And I, too, was like, so there it is.
But, it's...
And then he burns the entire world when you beat him.
Yes. If you don't get all the Chaos Rings... Metal Sonic kills everything. It is just a wall of fire as the earth burns before its new god. And, frankly, in some ways, that's a cooler ending than the good ending, which is where just everybody's just kind of hanging out.
Right, yeah.
And then you get metaphorically crop dusted because Sonic and Tails appear right at the end to show, like, hey, fuckers, we could have been in this game, but we're not.
Uh-huh.
Which is like, what are you guys even here for? This is Knuckles' game, even though it's not, because he's not technically part of the title.
Well, I mean, it's called Knuckles' Chaotix.
No, it's not. It's called Chaotix featuring Knuckles the Echidna.
Wait.
Okay, that's a little semantic-y.
I know. I'm being
I'm looking at the box art. It's called
The
Knuckles'
box art
Chaotix.
says Knuckles Chaotix. The game does not call itself Knuckles Chaotix
the title screen
anywhere.
does say Chaotix featuring Knuckles the Echidna. Welcome to the next level in the 32X world.
That's the full name, then.
All right.
Okay, and once again, I'm like, this must be a
legal
simulation.
name. Its nickname is Knuckles Chaotix.
Legal.
I'm just imagining, like, a giant video game box standing at, like, the DMV trying to get its name changed on its license.
Actually, you know what, Devin? Chaotix featuring Knuckles the Echidna is actually the Japanese name.
Huh. Well, okay, well, In any case. Yeah, weird little game this is.
Yeah.
I think after thinking about it very hard, I think what I come away with this game is that it had a lot of love put into it in a few specific areas, but the team that they assigned either didn't have the time or didn't have the skill to make it something that could contend with Sonic 2 or 3, basically.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, because like a lot of things are fundamentally just bizarre. I mean, I could have improved the level design. I guess that would explain why it was so empty. But
But you
I
think
guess I
that
would
wouldn't
probably...
fix the tether mechanic, or?
Yeah, no, it wouldn't. It would not fix the tether mechanic. So I don't know. Even if they like, yeah, who knows? You can only speculate, I suppose.
Well, and that's the thing is that for a lot of these episodes, I've ended my portion by saying, here's the best way to play this game. And this game, this game is one of the only Sonic games that has never gotten any kind of re-release ever. Which you'd think that this would be perfect to put on, like, Mega Collection or Gems Collection, I guess is where it would have ended up. But they just never acknowledge it, and that might be because they take that canon thing seriously, because they've never re-released any of the Sonic games that they call non-canon, as far as I can recall. That might be a coincidence, but it's like, I think they think that Heroes is kind of the modern replacement for this, since it's still got the Chaotix and it's still got a giant metal Sonic at the end. But, I always end off these episodes by saying, here's the best way to play this game. This game, all you can do is either buy, the 32X hardware and stuff to make it, or you can emulate it. But that gives me a ROM hack wish list for this game, which is, A, let me play the game solo, B, fix the stage design and make it something interesting. I'm sure there must be some kind of level editing capabilities for this game. It can't internally be that different to, the other Sonic games. And C, let me play all the levels in order.
Yes.
Yes.
That on its own would not save the game by any means, but it would
make
help
it more
it not
bearable.
mesh together. Mesh together? That makes it sound good. Meld together. Melt together. Dissolve into a horrible mass.
Yeah, this giant amorphous blob of Knuckles Chaotix that has been floating around ordering us to kill. But,
And Charmy kills. Charmy kills everything.
he is a deadly motherfucker. Oh, here's something that Bruce told me. When Vector jumps, he turns into a donut.
Yes.
That's right. Oh, actually, okay, that leads into the characters in this game have solid idle animations.
Yes, they do.
I really like Knuckles' where he just spins the ring in the coolest way ever. Charmy actually has one of the lamest. He kind of just sits there and doesn't do much. But Vector rocks out. Espio obviously turns rainbow colors, which is awesome.
That's more 32X power right there.
Yeah.
Well, I like that Vector is just impossibly lanky in this game. He's like the modern Vector design got put through a taffy puller. But yeah, very very interesting game. It has its heart in the right place, but it's not quite there.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to put it.
Well, that's how Knuckles fared for this episode. But next episode, we're going to see how Tails fares as we talk about all 3 of the Tails games, maybe. I don't know if Tails and the Music Maker will get working, but we're definitely going to talk about Tails Skies Patrol, and we're definitely going to talk about Tails Adventure, which are both on the Game Gear, which hopefully does not, give us any bad
games.
signs.
More 8-bit games.
Maybe
Post-traumatic Sonic
maybe
disorder, post-traumatic Sonic
Tails.
disorder, post-traumatic Sonic disorder.
Maybe Tails will be nicer, kinder. I've heard those games aren't just, well, one of them at least isn't just like a straight Sonic game, so we'll see.
It's all going to be next week, so we will see you guys then. Have a great night.